Hey everyone, welcome. It's Fitness Tuesday, and today I want to talk with you about the fact that fitness is so much more than physical. So, this has been my journey, my studies, and my inspiration over the past 5 years. When I got the concept for starting Richmond Wellness, I had started noticing that the principles or the success principles within fitness training had applied to so many other areas of life. And that really started, you see it in the tagline of Richmond Wellness, that had started that concept of mental, spiritual, physical fitness. So changing one thing in one area of life, it benefits and affects all of the other areas of life as well. You can't just do one thing and it stays in this one little area. All things work off against each other, and I was fascinated by that. So that's what I want to talk with you about today as part of my journey and study as a holistic personal trainer in taking the whole body into consideration, the whole life into consideration when looking at exercise, nutrition, fitness, health, all of those kinds of things. So a lot of people start an exercise program or an exercise routine to lose weight and to trim down or tone up and that kind of a thing. And I always like to ask the question why, because that's great, but something else much deeper actually started that desire, right? So for me, whenever I first started exercising, it was 2007. I was not the kid that was playing sports. I remember being 13 and crying because there were so many other cute girls at school who were smaller than me, and I wasn't grossly overweight, but I recognized the fact that I didn't look like them, and I figured, well, that's why they're popular, because they look cute and they can wear whatever they want and all of those kinds of things. So in 2007, whenever I graduated from high school, I had made it a goal of mine to be comfortable in my own skin. So that was my why behind wanting to get active and start exercising and that kind of a thing. And so, even within the very goal of wanting to lose weight, wanting to trim down, tone up, those kinds of things, so many other things happen, right? So, your movement becomes easier. Your flexibility and your range of motion can increase. Your muscle tightness and discomfort can alleviate, and your energy can increase. So many other benefits that I started recognizing and seeing whenever I started this journey. I was like, whoa, hey, I can do so much more. I'm a much more productive individual. I'm more creative, all of these things. And that's where I really got more interested. So really what I want to draw back to is the fact that there's still so much more. Those are still the physical things, range of motion. Yes, this is awesome. I can move my body. It feels good. But there's so much more than that. I really believe that we're not meant to be sedentary beings. My reasoning in that claim is the fact that we have arms and legs and the ability to move and travel our bodies without the use of equipment, right? Like a car, okay? So much of life is enriched whenever we do move more. So movement, and you'll see this in the post below, movement, it gets our creative juices flowing, right? Have you experienced this? It can help us get emotions out to express them, whether they're good or maybe not such good feelings. And it strengthens our bodies from our muscles, right, to our heart, also a muscle, but then also our arteries, veins, etc. Okay? It gives us the time to feel life, not just to think our way through it. Okay? It can rejuvenate us after a long day or a long week. I experienced this last week, had a long week, got a lot of work done. It was amazing, phenomenal, and I'm always thankful. But I was exhausted at the end of it. And we had a long run on Sunday, and it woke up tired on Sunday as well, and just said, well, okay, let's go out and do it. And afterwards felt amazing. Yes, my body was physically tired, but my mind and my spirit, I felt rejuvenated. Movement can give us balance to our lives. So scheduling and taking the time to take care of our bodies. It can preserve our bodies from illness and disease. And it can also increase our mood naturally, right? Have you experienced this? So I kind of had a spin on this. Like most marketing that I've seen out there, be it like a product or a service, they project this message: buy this or do this, and you will be happy, or your life will be easier and more enjoyable, right? Like, have you guys seen this? So we all have this common goal, and maybe we haven't verbalized it. Maybe it's not like on our to-do list every day, but it's definitely in the background processes of our lives, is to feel good. I want to feel good. Who doesn't want to feel good, right? Again, maybe not on the to-do list, but it's in there, and it's definitely worth our attention. So we have a tool for massive happiness right at our fingertips and our toe tips, okay? Like many studies are now showing how exercise can actually combat and ward off depression and anxiety. And really no price needs to be paid except for some time and energy. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. So energy expended equates to more energy being produced and available to us for all of the other things of life. Okay? So, like I said, I'm a huge fan of just looking at how everything in our lives is intertwined and affects all of the other things. You know, I always like to say, don't just take my word for it. You know, test it for yourself. I've always been a person to ask questions myself and say, is that true? Is that true for me? What's my experience? And that kind of a thing. Test it. Try it. Okay? How can you incorporate more movement into your day? Like maybe you already exercise consistently. Maybe you have a routine where you do something in the morning or the evening or what have you, but how could you move more during the day? Right? Like can you take walks on your lunch break? Not necessarily for the caloric burn, but for rejuvenating your mind and just getting back to yourself and being quiet a little bit. Like how about a walking meeting? You know, to spur creative ideas and inspiration, you know, instead of a seated one. What about stretching for 5 to 10 minutes instead of grabbing another cup of coffee, you know, or a coffee break? If you'd like to discuss how much or how more movement can impact your life in ways other than just the physical fitness, reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation about it. I geek out about this all the time. I love it. I'd love to talk with you and you know, share your thoughts, share your experience. I'd love to hear, and I'll look forward to connecting with you. So have a phenomenal day.